we're in need of learning from nature. We're in need to understand how natural systems function. We need to realize that there is no waste in nature. We need to realize that nature has a system which is so efficient that has been evolving over 4 billion years, that there is not any requirement to ask yourself if this is sustainable or not. Everything is sustainable, because otherwise it wouldn't be alive. But the main criteria of sustainability is that you only use what you have. And this is where we differ so much from the human being. The human being has put itself in this world where we're using everything from all around the world, and we ship it from all around the world. And as a result, we've become totally unsustainable because we have lost one of the core principles of how nature functions. Use what you have. You know, we have governments that want to contribute to create this sustainable society, this green economy. And the governments have been brought to a logic that is that whatever is green is expensive, and therefore we subsidize it so that it can make a future on the market. But the problem is that government should never ever put money into something that is not sustainable. I mean, take the example of photovoltaic cells, where we're massively subsidizing photovoltaics, but we're only using the top side of the panels. We never use the bottom. That means we're only using 50% of the panel, and of course it can't be competitive. If on the other hand we're able to, with an optical effect, have concentrated solar on the bottom, then we are competitive without subsidies. But somehow we got stuck into subsidizing panels that only use the top. And that is where we go wrong, because governments cannot see the cutting-edge innovations. The governments only see what is the most obvious before them. And therefore, I am insisting that government should never use taxpayers' money, because in the end of the day, it's the taxpayer who will get taxed to pay for the subsidy. We should never use the taxpayers' money in order to so-called make competitive what otherwise is not competitive. No, everything that we do is and sustainable and social and competitive. And if it isn't all three at the same time, don't do it. The only way to know that a business proposal is really sustainable, or a production and consumption system is really sustainable, is if we're ensuring ourselves that whatever innovation we've integrated, whatever technology we use, is an innovation and a technology that's inspired by nature. If it is being used in nature and successfully evolved over these 4 billion years, then whatever you do with that technology will be sustainable. It is impossible to engage yourself in the creation of a sustainable world if you're not yourself turning into a sustainable individual. And that sustainability of the individual needs to start with your breakfast. What did you have for breakfast in the morning? I mean, if you're having your orange juice, which is so acidic, and you have your cup of coffee in the morning, which is so acidic, you're acidifying your body, just in the same way as we're acidifying the earth with our atmosphere, with the CO2 emissions, and we're acidifying the oceans, and therefore rendering the whole world unsustainable. So we cannot dissociate how I am living sustainably, starting with my breakfast, from the sustainability of the whole earth. When the Mighty Foundation decided to dedicate to these issues, then to me it is a great pleasure to realize that people are looking for the sustainability, but at the same time in a business context and in a competitive context. And therefore all these new initiatives to search for that next business model is something that I am delighted to participate in.